Yo, what's up guys, it's Aptrix here. In today's video, we'll be finally playing GTA 5 on our super low-end Android device with only 6GB of RAM and a Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 processor. I have finally made this possible and I seriously can't believe that it actually works. For today's video, we'll be using a Windows emulator for Android to run the original GTA 5 on a super low-end Android device. So the device which I'll be using is the iQOO Z6 Lite, which has an Adreno 619 GPU, which is also known as Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 processor. Along with that, I only have 6GB of RAM, out of which only 2GB is available. This is literally like playing GTA 5 on a 2GB RAM laptop. It's not possible, right? Well, you are wrong guys. Well, before getting started, if you guys are new here, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification as I upload similar videos on my channel. With that being said, let me show you guys how is it actually possible. Well, for today's video, we'll be using the latest version of Horizon emulator. This is the only emulator in which you can run GTA 5 on a super low-end Android device. You guys can watch the setup video of this emulator from the iCard above. To start off, let me show you guys which Wine version you need to use if you want to emulate GTA 5 on your low-end Android device, and this will only work on Snapdragon processors. So for today's video, we'll be using the Wine 9.7 vanilla, not the latest Wine 9.16 staging, as GTA 5 does not work in it. You will strictly need to use either Wine 9.7 vanilla or Wine 9.13 vanilla. Anyways, once that has been done, you will need to set the Box64 version as 21st October. Afterwards, select the DXVK driver as 2.4.1, Turnip driver as R9 Kimchi, and VKD3D as 2.13. Other settings are set as default, so you don't need to mess with that. Once that has been done, I'll be creating a brand new preset which we'll be using as environment setting in Horizon emulator. So to create a brand new preset, you can simply tap on create new preset. Afterwards, select it. Once that has been done, go to build block, set the build block level to 0. Afterwards, scroll down, set the CPU topology to 8 cores, and video memory for GTA 5, set it to 256 or 512 according to the RAM you have. I recommend you guys to go with 256, as even if we have 6GB RAM, we don't need to use it. We'll go with 256 so the game works a bit better. Afterwards, make sure to disable services startup and enable max processor frequency. This is very important so that you get the best amount of FPS possible. Afterwards, you can set the max amount of shader cache to 4GB, and that's about it in terms of environment settings. Now you'll also need to go to X11 settings and choose the display resolution as 800 by 600 and enable stretch to fit display. That's about it in terms of X11. Once that has been done, you'll simply need to select the preset that you just created. Afterwards, simply start your Wine container. Now when you create a Wine container on a low-end Android device, it will take some time for it to boot, so just be patient until it starts on your low-end Android device. Now our final step will be to simply launch GTA 5 on this device and see how well does it work on a super low-end Android device. Like this shouldn't be possible, and the only reason it is actually possible is because of Horizon emulator and Snapdragon processor Android device. Anyways, once you launch the game, it will take few seconds for it to boot up on your Android device. Once again, while emulating games on low-end Android devices, you gotta be super patient. And here we go guys, our game has successfully started. Now one thing which I noticed while testing out GTA 5 on my low-end Android device is the RAM is the only thing that is holding it back. If this phone had at least 8GB of RAM, then I am pretty sure that the game would work flawlessly without any issues. Now there are two types of issues which you will face while emulating this game on your low-end Android device. The first issue is the simple issue: your game wouldn't boot, it will just keep on crashing because you don't have enough RAM. And the second issue is the fact that the game will actually boot but once again crash while playing it on your low-end Android device. Now there is also a third issue, which is low FPS, but obviously you can expect it because you are emulating such high-end game on your Android device. Now here we go guys, finally after waiting for 2 to 3 minutes, the game has actually managed to boot, and at the top left corner you will be able to see the FPS bar. And as you might have noticed, the FPS is all over the place. Sometimes we are getting 6 FPS, sometimes only 1 to 2 FPS, but the game has actually started and is working at pretty decent resolution without any graphical issues. But currently you will be able to see that my input bridge on-screen touch control keeps on closing because of insufficient RAM. Like just take a look at this, input bridge is crashing all the time because there is literally no RAM left in the device. Well, if you want to play GTA 5, as I mentioned, you need to have at least 8GB of RAM. But here we go, here's the moment of truth. We can finally control our character, and by the way, I have fast forwarded this gameplay by 1.2 times. That's why it's not looking as bad as it actually is running without fast forwarding this gameplay. Nonetheless, once again the input bridge touch control just keeps on disabling on itself. and here we go. As you just saw, suddenly the game crashed, and that was because of the insufficient memory. And now I decided to restart the game with a save file added. Now if we use save file, then we will skip through the beginning cutscene, which might be a bit demanding. But unfortunately guys, when I added a save file, the game just wouldn't boot. Like, it booted on my tablet, on my high-end Android device pretty easily, but with the same save file, it was unable to boot on this low-end Android device. So unfortunately, you will face a lot of crashing issues, but at least we managed to run GTA 5 on our low-end Android device with the help of Horizon emulator. Now you might be wondering, what if we use WinLater Android 8.0 update, the latest version, to see if GTA 5 works in that emulator or not? And that's what I tested out. As you will be able to see, I am using the WinLater Android emulator now, and surprisingly GTA 5 managed to boot even on this emulator on my own Android device. But unfortunately, there is a glitch with WinLater Android where it doesn't support low-end devices very well. There is a memory leak issue, or sometimes the game is just incompatible with low-end Android devices, and that was the reason the game was just getting stuck during the loading screen and was giving us way less FPS during the intro screen than what we got in Horizon emulator. So no, you can't really use WinLater Android to emulate GTA 5 on your low-end Android devices, but hey, at least we were able to run it with the help of Horizon emulator. So do let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about us finally managing to play GTA 5 on a super low-end Android device, and comment down below. Rest in peace MediaTek and Mali GPU Android devices or users because they will never be able to experience anything like this. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. No hate towards Mali GPU users. I will bring special videos for you guys and just for you guys. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.